stories that define hip-hop culture. You're now locked in to the Terminator Xperience podcast, where hip-hop history meets the culture right now. Hosted by DJ DVS and Minor, alongside the legendary Terminator X. We're talking classic moments, untold stories, and the voices that shape the game. Straight from the source. No filters, no filler, just real conversations and real hip-hop. Turn it up. This is the Terminator Xperience podcast.
All right, y'all. Once again, it's another episode, Terminator Xperience podcast. DVS, it's my man Terminator X, it's my man Minor. Today we got a legend, you know what I'm saying? Yo, huge show. I'm excited, you know what I'm saying? You know I'm from Chief Rocker. Here come the Lords. We got the one and only DoItAll. Give it up one time. Ba ba ba. Shaw U representative. What's good, my man?
Man, first of all, man, by you saying, first of all, I just want to big up the entire room over there, man, at the Xperience, especially the legend, man, Terminator X, man.
Yes.
You know, you've been a conversation on Lords of the Underground tour, and I'll put you on to that a little later.
Oh, wow.
Okay. All right.
But I also wanted, since you mentioned Shaw U, you know, I just lost one of my good Shaw U brothers who transitioned last night, man. My man, Peace Fresh, man, Wilson, man, my frat brother. You know, so I want to salute to and just say condolences to his family and all the people who love Doug, man, for real. Shaw Zoo for life, man, for real.
Yes, sir, man. That's where I met you at, man, back in the day. You know what I'm saying? It was, you know, you and Al Tariq, Funky Man.
Yeah.
And I remember the humble beginnings, like, you know, and to see where it went, man, like, bro, you know, it's a beautiful thing, man. But you know,
for real.
So we gonna set it off, man. You know, we gonna let the legend set it off.
Mm-hmm. All right, brother. Pleasure. I don't think we ever met, have we?
Yes, but
we have. Okay, my bad.
The thing was, I think I was with Roxanne Shante, and I wasn't in Lords of the Underground yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's way back then.
Yeah. And when Redman was my DJ, we used to look at the back of the records and go, you know, to the management company. So we wound up at Rush, and Flav was so nice to us all the time, man. And y'all want something from the store? You know, and I think I met you coming through the door. They used to have a studio in the basement at the management company. You remember that? I think
Rush,
they were or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, man. Hold on.
Wait a minute. We gotta
rewind the Red.
Did you say Redman was your DJ?
Yeah, we gotta go back to that. He's with me. Yeah, hold on. I didn't know this. Word.
Wow, that's history right there. I don't think anybody knows that.
Well, shout out to Funk Doc, man. Mr. Green, that's my brother.
Yes, sir.
My son's godfather, man.
Okay.
Wow.
That's dope.
That's my brother, but yeah, awesome. Man, I introduced him to, you know, I'm the one who told him about Eric Sermon. I introduced him to Eric Sermon.
Oh, okay.
You know, cool. I was trying to get on with Eric, but hey, one of us got on.
Hey, man, exactly, man. For real.
So first question I'm gonna ask: where did the name Lords of the Underground originate?
First, man, shout out to Marley Marl, man, DJ Marley Marl, as
Marley,
legend, man. He did a tour, a Juice Crew tour. I think it was like Tragedy Gaddafi was on that tour.
Mm-hmm.
And Tragedy used to come out and freestyle for them when he was, you know, just coming off Intelligent Hoolum and, you know, all of that. And we were looking for a name. Marley was looking for a name. We had just got with Marley. And we were calling ourselves something like NJ Funk or something like that. He was like, nah, that's not it. and Tragedy Gaddafi had set a freestyle on and Marley, he said that in his freestyle, he said he was the Lord of the Underground. And Marley was like, yo, that's the name. Then to fast forward later, we found out that Tragedy Gaddafi had planned to name whatever first group that he would put out, he planned to name them Lords of the Underground.
Wow.
So I was doing some research. I said, hey, well, wasn't the first group that he put out Capone and Noriega? You know what I mean? So imagine if Capone and Noriega
would have been Lords of the Underground.
Yeah, but I think it turned out the best for both of us.
Wow.
That's right.
Yeah. So just in hindsight,
yeah,
Tragedy Gaddafi named Lords of the Underground without knowing he named Lords of the Underground initially. Wow. Shout out to Trash too, man.
Salute to Trash.
All right. So take us back to Newark, right? What was the environment like, and what shaped Lords of the Underground?
The funk shaped Lords of the Underground. Like, you gotta understand, like the West Coast. Shout out to all my dudes on the West Coast. The West Coast get the credit for the funk.
Right.
You know, they get that credit for the funkadelic. But we gotta think about it. George Clinton was from Jersey.
Right.
Like, he was from Jersey. Like, that funk stuff started in Jersey, man. And if it didn't start, of course it started with rock and blues and all that stuff mixed together, of course. But when it was initiated as funk, that happened in New Jersey. So it was only right for Funk Doc Redman to be on some funk stuff. It was only right for Lords of the Underground to be on some funk stuff. It was only right, man. So, you know, the West Coast, they took the sound and made it hip hop appreciated, but we came out the pot where it was brewed in.
Right.
Yeah. I know George Clinton was born in is it North Carolina? I think he was born in North Carolina or South Carolina. I think it was North Carolina.
Yeah,
but I didn't know he. So apparently, yeah. He said he was born in the outhouse, so he knew he was destined for the funk.
yeah. But all his teenage years and all of that, man.
Jersey, okay.
Jersey. I didn't know that. His musical experiences, Jersey.
Nice.
You know, just ask him about the Milk Bar and Clinton Avenue. And all
Milk
that.
Bar.
Like,
all right,
you know?
all right.
So, as a group, how did y'all come together? When did y'all realize that this was something serious for y'all?
I think I knew that it was something serious before I even got in Lords of the Underground. And the reason why I say I knew that, because I had been struggling trying to get signed. I was, have been called DoItAll for a long time, but I had dancers. I was trying to emulate myself after Big Daddy Kane.
Right.
And one day I got to have him in my studio recording, so that was like a dream come true.
Right.
But I was trying to emulate Big Daddy Kane, Scoob, and Scrap Lover. I had the two dancers. Redman was my DJ, emulating, how Mr. C was. God bless Mr. C, was in the crew. Yeah. And we had the oak tree mustard colored suits on with the paisley shirts and the high top fades. And we was trying to, we was inspired by Kane, and it grew into something else. But that was before Lords of the Underground. And then my mother taking me around to try to get deals just as a teenager. Nobody would sign me, and she would say, "Look, you have 1 year. You have 1 year to go after this dream of getting signed. And if you do not do it in that 1 year, then you have to go to college." Right. So I didn't get signed in that 1 year, and I went off to college. I went to Shaw University in the great city of Raleigh, North Carolina, the Raleigh-Durham area, the Triangle area. And we had a brother who was tearing up all of the parties, even the jazz radio station at Shaw University, WSHA.
Yes, sir.
And his name was, he called himself Jazzy A.
Right.
And who later became DJ Lord Jazz.
Lord Jazz.
Lord Jazz, who is the DJ. We modeled ourselves after two MCs and a DJ. We just respected the ground that Run DMC walked on.
Yes.
So the DJ was the king of our group. Lord Jazz put Lords of the Underground together. He DJ'd all of the parties. I used to go up to him and say, "Yo, let me freestyle." And people told him I was nice. And he let me freestyle. And then every party, he was like, "Yo, where's the dude that freestyled the last time? I need him at the party." And the crazy thing is, he wouldn't let Funky freestyle until one day he asked both of us to come up to the radio, and Funk murdered it. And we wrote rhymes together. And those first rhymes that we wrote together was Psycho. And we did that to Black Sheep's beat. I believe it was what was their first joint? The Flavor. What was it?
Flavor of the Month. Flavor of the Month.
Yes. And we did Psycho to that.
Wow.
And And then Marley Marl had a cousin who was graduating from Shaw University called Derek L.A. Jackson, who's still around.
Yes,
Shout out to L.A.
Salute L.A.
Yeah, in L.A.
L.A. Yeah, he brought up L.A.
Yeah, and just to give you some background, you know,
yes, sir.
L.A. found, he managed Coolio.
Yes, L.A. Yeah,
managed, I mean, even when Lil Wayne and Nicki Minaj was doing those Mountain Dew commercials back in the early 2000s and all that marketing, all that was L.A.
Yes.
And Scott Storch, he found Scott Storch.
Yes.
Went on to make a lot of money with Scott Storch, and he found the Roots. So L.A. found Scott Storch, the Roots, Lords of the Underground, managed Coolio. The guy and he came from our school, but he was Marley Marl's cousin. Right. And Marley Marl was giving him a job when he graduated school as an intern with Marley Marl Productions. Right. And when he got there at the House of Hits, he told his best friend at the time, DJ Lord Jazz, when I get there, I need you to put the group together because I'm going to play it for my cousin. That group he put together was DoItAll and Funky Man. And we became Lords of the Underground thanks to Lord Jazz and Marley Marl and Derek L.A. Jackson.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Humble beginners at Shaw U. That is.
So, in your early days, how was it working with Marley Marl in your early days?
Amazing.
I mean, with Marley Marl. Yeah.
You got to understand, man. You're talking about having the opportunity of working with one of the people who you looked up to.
Yes.
Right? We listened to him on the radio on Mr. Magic.
Yeah.
Every weekend. I used to pause tape record to Marley Marl.
Pause tapes, yep.
Right. So I used to put that tissue or that cardboard or whatever it was in the back of that tape, and I would tape over something my mother probably was listening to in the front living room, you know, and I would record over it because I had to get Mr. Magic and Marley Marl recorded, you know. And so when you ask how was it working with Marley, it was a dream come true. We spoke it into existence. You know, everybody who was listening to the radio back then said, man, if I could just get the opportunity to spit for Mr. Magic and Marley Marl, well, we got the opportunity, something better. We had Marley Marl's cousin take a demo tape to him that featured us with Psycho to Drez and them Black Sheeps, you know, Flavor of the Month and, you know, instrumental. And Marley was like, yo, whoever these guys is singing Psycho, I need them to come up here. And we got the opportunity to come to the House of Hits, man, and the rest became history. I remember that day walking in the House of Hits, man. It changed our life. But when you walking in a moment, you don't know that the moment is a moment.
Yeah, man, because I mean, after that, just with the hits, man, like the Chief Rocker, like, you know, y'all were dropping them back to back, man. You know what I'm saying? For real.
Yeah, before Chief Rocket came out, man, we dropped we was testing the waters. We dropped a record called Check It, Check It, microphone, check it. Wow. You know, LL was in the video. And that's just another thing. When we got to the House of Hits, you know, it was this big white house in the suburbs, you know, and when we pulled up, it had all red cars in the driveway. Red Pathfinder.
Yeah, he loves red.
Red 850. You know, red Saab, you know, the Saab was the dope boy cars back in the day. And he had a red 850. You know, Marley had the Ring camera before it was a such thing as the Ring camera.
Wow.
I'm dead serious. He can see who's at his door and talk to you before you even get in. And they buzzed us in. When you walk in, you see the red 850 surrounded by records in the garage. So he's parked in between records. And then you hear the rumbling. All I heard was, no. That's what it sounded like when we walked through the doors. You walk through the first door and it's Studio A, glass sliding doors, Studio A. There's a white engineer with a bunch of Starbursts on the table who went by the name of, on the SSL console board, because Marley Marl and Teddy Riley and I think somebody else were the only people with the SSL in their homes at this time. And that board was $1 million back in the 90s. You can get a little cheaper now, but that was like $1 million back in the 90s. And this white engineer named Frank Heller he always poured out the Starburst bag, and that's what he nibbled on when he mixed. But in between that scene, we're just in amazement, just teenagers, you know, in amazement. Here it is. We see our idol standing in between two speakers. We see the skinny dude with kind of a nice build to him, pause. But he had a bell Kango on, a red bell Kango, a wife beater, and he had his back turned to us.
Shan?
And then that mumbling that we heard walking through the garage, that turned into, when the sliding doors open, turned to "Mama said knock you out."
Oh, yep. Okay.
Mama said knock you out. They were mixing "Mama Said Knock You Out." It wasn't even out yet.
Wow.
They were mixing it.
So do you know DJ Clash? Was he there?
No, he wasn't there.
Okay.
Not at that time. Not at that time.
Okay.
So let me ask you something, right? You said something that reminded me of something. It's funny because you say your mom gave you a year. Now you had to go back to college, right? How moms felt after you made it big. You never told us that.
Well, she said, I don't care what type of deal he talking about. You promised me you're going to stay in school, you're going to stay in school. So we worked out a deal with Shaw University where we're going to stay in school and still do this. And that was the deal. We shot, if you notice, all our early videos was at Shaw University. Now we're going to market and promote y'all across the world, and we're going to stay in school, and we're going to, you know, we're going to try it the best way we can. And then they allowed us, the dean at that time allowed us to come back on campus, turn in work, take work with us. I mean, it just got crazy, though. I mean, we was traveling around the world, man. We just young boys. And it just turned into a mission, man, that it's amazing how people come up to me and say, you know, I went to college because of you guys.
Wow.
Wow. That's dope. Yeah. That's dope. Yeah.
What's up?
That's crazy, man.
So tell us about, so I'm proud of this too. Tell us about your political career, if you want to. Yeah. You don't have to,
it's a part of who I am, man. One thing about me, man, I'm going to forever be hip hop. I don't care what I do. I could become a pastor tomorrow. I'm gonna be a pastor of hip hop. I'm gonna be Mason Becker all over again. Like
Run.
Like it's in my blood. It's in my core. I will forever be hip hop. But what I try to do now is I show you what hip hop looks like grown up.
That's right. That's right.
And that's just it. Like we get a lot of bad raps and a lot of connotations, negative connotations attached to hip hop. But just like there's a yin, there's a yang. That's and we have hip hop has done more good than it has done bad. It has changed families' lives. It has changed people's lives. It has elected officials. And with that being said, I am the first platinum selling hip hop artist to ever win an elected official seat in the United States of America. You know, and that's Tupac. You know, one of my guys, we were on Tupac's tour. It was Outkast opening up. It was Janae singing with Fam from Rotten Rascals singing the Hey Mr. DJ record. It was all of us on tour. Biggie would stop with Pac around sometimes before he was really popping. And, you know, Pac just one day in a hotel room, man, 1994, in a motel room. This is when you had to go to the room from the outside.
Right.
And 1994, a motel room in Orlando, Florida. Tupac said to me, man, you know, we sell millions of records. Now we have to turn those millions of record buyers into millions of voters. And we 20, 21. I don't know what he talking about. Like, what is you talking about, bro? He was like, man, then we might have to do something we don't want to do. You know, we might have to become legislators. I was like, man, what is you talking about, Pac? I'm a rapper. Legislators. It's like, yeah, bro, you know, and if you know Pac, and all those people who know Pac or claim to know him, you know, he was a chameleon. He turned into whatever he was around.
Yeah.
You know, if he was around a bunch of gangbangers, he want to be the gang leader.
Yeah.
If he was around a bunch of church people, he wanted to be the pastor.
Yeah.
If he was around Muslims, he wanted to be the imam. You know, but he was very passionate with anything that he talked about. And he was like, that's right, man. You know, it's like, we got to become legislators, because if we don't make the laws for us, they will be made for us. We got to create bridges between our seniors and our youth and start programs that we feed our community and never move from where you from. this Pocket 20 years old, man.
Nice.
My daughter's 18. I pray she talk like that, you know. And
that's a great story, yeah.
Right, man. And I didn't realize it until years later, but everything that he asked of me in that hotel room in 1994, I've done. I started a nonprofit organization. I got back in my community.
Nice.
You know, but I will be remiss if I didn't mention Laws of the Underground's manager, who was a mentor to us. He never told us what to do. His name was Hafiz Fareed, but he would ask us questions that he posed to us that make us challenge ourselves with questions, you know. And I didn't realize that was a technique of grooming and raising somebody, you know. Turn that question right back around. I'll give you an example before I continue with the story. One day we were recording TikTok, and in TikTok's record, I think I said bitch or something about, you know, original version. I think I said like a bitch or something that. And he came to the studio, and you know, we young kids, we just want everybody to love our music that's in our cipher, at least, right? So I was like, yo, how you like that, Hafiz? And he was like, it's cool. And I was like, word, yo, like that's hard. Everybody like it in here, man. You know? He's like, no, it's cool. He's like, but what say that part, rewind that part. It's like, and I was, whatever the line was, I don't even all the way remember it. I know it was bitch or something. And he was like, oh, bitch. Oh, he's like, who you talking about? Your mother? Wow. I was like, what? What you talking about? Like, who you trying to be funny? He's like, no, I'm not trying to be funny. Who you talking about? Like your mother, your sister, your grandmother, or something? It's like, yo, you trying to be funny, man? And he was like, no, but you see the way you reacted? It's like, maybe some women are going to react the same way that you just reacted.
Wow.
He was like, so I'm just asking, are you cool with it? Like, what type of point you trying to make? Who are you talking to? Just ask yourself the question. That's why Laws of the Underground, he held us accountable. We didn't really curse in our music like that, you know? Don't get me wrong. We had a couple of N-words and, you know, and I say that because when I ran for councilman, nobody could use my past against me because I never said those things.
Yeah.
How about that?
You know what I'm saying? So you got to be careful of the seeds you plant, because the flowers that bloom from it, you don't know if they're going to be nutrition, you don't know if it's going to be medicine, or you don't know if they're going to be poison.
So let me ask you something, man. So what you just said, how can we get the youth to do that in music now? I mean, because you listen to stuff now, man, it's just, it ain't no positive. It ain't no PEs, no brand Nubians, no, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just, you know what I'm saying? Like what can we do to get the youth to understand, you know, kind of get in the same mind frame you were in with Laws of the Underground?
You see how Hafiz Fareed, Laws of the Underground manager, one of my mentors to this day, he held us accountable.
Right.
Another thing he did, he would ask us, you know, come on, we young, we rich. You know, we in hotel lobbies with men and women's daughters. You know, we having a great time, right? We're young people and having a great time. But he would ask us and ask our road manager to watch over us, right? And to make sure, like, he would ask you when you in the lobby with a girl or something, and you don't even know you being disrespectful. Because you're not treating her like a lady. You're treating her how she allow you to let her treat you when you're a celebrity, right? And then, but he would hold us accountable. Why you grab on that girl like that? You want somebody to grab on your sister like that? You want somebody to grab on your mom like that? Why you talk to her like that? Like these are questions he would ask us. He would never tell us not to do it. He would just ask us questions. Do you want that to happen? Like when you have a daughter and she has a favorite artist, you want her here acting the way she's acting with you? So treat her differently. And she'll respond differently. She'll react differently.
Right.
You know, like it was, and what I'm saying to you to answer your question is, for our young people, we have to hold them accountable for the things they are saying. We don't have to tell them to stop, because art is art, right? We don't want to pigeonhole your art. We just want to understand the why of your art. That's it. And if you can answer the why of your art, then be free. Let your art foster change in whoever you are, right? But be free, but be real with it. That's really being real. If you never sold 1,000 pounds of kilos, what are you talking about? Are you talking about a friend or a story or somebody that you heard do it? Okay, well then that's cool. Are you talking about what you see out of your own eyes? You know what I mean? With your own vision? Okay, well that's cool. But when you put it in first person and say, I did this, it becomes lies that are spread out through young minds, through easily influenced minds. And influence is powerful because it shapes perspective. You know what I mean? Yeah. So instead of influencing, which is a big thing right now, like, and that's powerful. But anytime I've been under the influence of anything, I haven't been myself. I've always been like, or as if, or I haven't been myself. So let's not only influence, because I don't want to say don't influence, not only influence, but understand what it is. Too much of anything is not good for you, right? So inspire, because when you inspire somebody, you're in spirit with that person or that thing, right? You're adding on top of it. You're building it, right? You're building on you're building on the foundation of what it is or what it has become. So when you build on the foundation, you make something greater. That means that the roots of that thing has contributed to what you are becoming. And then you're going to contribute to something else that becomes something even greater. And I think that he implemented that into us. And to furthermore answer your question, we got to start holding our artists accountable again. And that's difficult now, right? Because you got the internet, when they allow them to be as free as possible, say what they want, and nobody can say anything. Like, if I know that I would never see you again, I can talk slick to you. This, nah, you were punk in that, yeah, I probably never see you, especially if I cut the video off. I can text you and but you can't say that to a person that you see every day, who will hold you accountable with a smack in the face. That's right. You know what I mean? And I'm just saying, when you hold people accountable, when you allow them to challenge yourself and they understand the circumstances and the predicaments that they might put themselves in, they rethink, you know, and they recalibrate what they're doing. But when they have no conscience, right, the recalibration gives them conscience. When they have no conscience, they free fall, and then they wind up getting themselves in trouble, and they wind up leading people down a path of no resolve. You know what I mean? So that's all we got to do, man. I don't ever want to stop anybody's art, ever. But I do want to hold you accountable, because just like back in the day when Charles Barkley said, I'm not nobody's role model. I do what I do, you do what you do. Nah, man, it's our duty when you have a platform, whether you want to or not. I'll give you an example. The same guy, Hafiz Fareed, we come off doing MTV. I forgot what show it was. It was an outside show. We murdered it. Laws of the Underground. And back in the day, you can check from back then to now, I used to always wear Newark on my hats and shirts. Still do to this day. And I came off feeling myself. You know, I'm about 21, 22. I got money in my pocket. Money for a 21, 22-year-old. You know, a couple of 100,000, you know, a few hundred. You think you're a millionaire, right? I come off, my same manager, Hafiz Fareed, he was like, good show. You killed it. I was like, yeah, we killed it. You know, I'm on my braggadocious, like, yeah. So he saw me feeling myself, and you know, like, I got Newark all on my clothes, and he was like, you Newarked out today, huh? I was like, that's right, I'm Newarked out, represent my city. The world saw it. He was like, yeah, that's dope. He said, what was the last thing you done for your city? Who was the last thing you done for Newark? I got defensive. What? I just performed. Millions of people around the world saw me. It's like, yeah, that's cool. That's marketing and promotion. It's like, what was the last thing you done for Newark?
See, this world needs more brother Hafiz. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But we are the Hafizes.
Yeah. Yes.
Like sometimes when the young people are rambunctious or they buck up a little bit, we like, man, let him learn on his own.
Right.
But we don't understand that just by doing that, we're putting the culture that we love, that we respect, in danger.
Yeah. That's real.
That's right.
Man, like, so I mean, with that great message, are you still working on anything? I know you're a busy man, but I mean,
man, I will never stop. I was just in the studio with my man Vic Shades. Man, shout out to Vic Shades. I got K Def on the album. Ooh. I got K Def working with me. You know, he made Chief Rocker, Funky Child, yes. Come the Laws, What I'm After, all those joints. But I got who I have Graph on the album.
Okay.
I'm waiting for my verse back from Black Thought from the Roots.
Ooh.
I got RJ Payne on the album. I got Mock Hami on the album. Mock Hami, people don't know, he's right from where I'm from, the Westward of Newark, New Jersey. Okay. You know, he always wear the mask. Nobody's seen him. Who else I got on the album? Oh, I'm waiting for my chorus back from Case.
Okay.
I got Case coming.
Nice.
Trying to think. I got a few people on the joint, man. Yeah, but me and Vic Shay's locked in. I gotta go see Primo. Okay. And my other son, the other godfather to my son, Lord Finesse. We haven't talked about any music yet. That's just my brother. But before it's all over, I gotta get a joint from Lord Finesse, man.
Oh my God, the underboss, yeah.
The underboss.
You gotta get one from him. Oh
yeah,
man,
that's more my brother though. Even if I don't, that's my brother. Like we just kicking on a whole nother level. But
gotcha.
But I mean, it's only natural. We haven't really talked about. We talk about music, but we don't talk about like doing music together. We just talk about stuff we love and just the vibe of music and things of that nature and stuff.
So how did your city take you when you got into this politics?
Oh,
from being a hip hop artist, then you became a politic. How people reacted to that change, because it was a totally different thing, you know.
So I'm in a campaign right now. And this is my third campaign. The first campaign that I ran for at-large in the great city of Newark, New Jersey, and I lost. I thought just because I was popular with the young people and popular with music lovers, popular with hip-hop fans, it was a no-brainer to me. I got this. But what they and I did good. Don't get me wrong. I got third in the middle of two icons at the time, banging out with no money. You know, about $70,000 at the time. And what I realized when I lost, that it doesn't matter how popular you are. The seniors don't know you. They ain't never heard Chief Rocker at this time. Maybe these seniors now. Yeah. But those seniors 8 years ago, they never heard Chief Rocker. They don't know what Funky Child is. So I had to reassure them. I had to make them know that I am a son of this city. I am the one who comes from a number block that you prayed for that would do good and go to school. I am I am Miss Williams when I used to sweep up in front of her porch. That's me. I am a product of you all. How wouldn't you vote for me?
Right.
How wouldn't you prayed for me to become this? So why wouldn't you give me the opportunity to show you how to govern where I grew? Right. And I made them from that standpoint believe. And I ran against a very powerful lawyer who's a good guy, you know, but he was talking about things like the schematics, the exterior of things and the numbers of things. Well, data shows, you know, the building of this and that, and you can tell from this is going on. I was talking about how Miss Williams' cake tastes when nobody could eat, and she would bake a cake and feed 20 of us off of one cake. I was talking about how the streets were empty when she allowed us to go in her backyard and nobody was getting it. I was talking about the core and the inside, and the seniors who are our super voters and our main voters. They start to understand that I was the child that they prayed for. I was their grandson. I was their nephew. I am their son. So they believe, you know, and that's how we were able to bring it in. And then I can't forget Team Baraka. our mayor, Raj J. Baraka, and his team, and Midi Baraka believed in me enough to put me on the team. And now I wasn't fighting with the team instead of just solo.
Wow. That's dope,
another thing, what advice will you give kids up to date into following into your footsteps, so we can have future politicians?
I would say don't be scared of what hip hop is.
Right.
Don't be scared of what hip hop has become. Make sure that you pit a bucket where you lay. Make sure that you plant a seed, that you're not scared when it starts to bloom, that you're scared of its flowers, that you're scared of its smell. Make sure that the seed that you plant will be there, so when you definitely have to pull from it, you can eat off the plant instead of it being a plant that you can't even taste or touch, or so that means that whatever it is you do, you don't have to stop being hip hop. You just have to start being true. See, hip hop, even when you break down the word, right? Hip, being in the now, right? Being in the knowing. I'm hip. I'm in the now. I'm in the knowing. Hop, being a form of movement, right? And when you put that together, hip hop, it says to me that it's the now movement. That's why it forever stays young. That's why it forever feels young, because it's the now movement. There will always be a now.
Right.
There will always be a movement, but you just have to progressively move forward in a forward direction, right? And if you're consistently doing that, I mean, let's think about the Black Panthers and all of them. They were in a now movement back then. Yeah. They were creating breakfast programs and things of that nature. Now that is called WIC. They don't get no credit for it. They were creating programs for the youth and the children in the community. They don't get any credit for it, but that was the now movement. Even though we didn't call it hip hop back then, hip hop is the now movement. So there will always be a progressive movement moving forward. I just stay current because I'm gonna forever stay hip hop. That's why even when I'm making music now, I stay in my lane, meaning that I stay in my now. As long as I stay in my now, I'm gonna always sound current because I'm never gonna stop being hip hop. And I say to those young people, never stop being hip hop. Whatever you do, if you're a chef, if you want to be in the politics, whatever you want to do, it doesn't have to be arts for you to be hip hop, because hip hop is the culture. It's the way that you live the life of the culture. And I just learned to live it through its elements, right? And we say, MCing and back then breakdancing and graffiti. I just look at it differently, but it's the same elements. Fashion, right? Because the dancer was the first fashion icon, because when they were breakdancing, when they were dancing, they wanted people to see how fly they looked while they was dancing. Yep. So they had all the fly swag on. That's fashion. The dancing, that's how you move to the rhythms of our culture. The graffiti passed messages, right? Now our art is worldwide, hundreds and millions of dollars, and all of these art basels across the globe. Our art, I know graffiti artists right now who are selling 6-figure graffiti in museums in Paris, Switzerland, Spain. This is no lie, right? So that means that our culture has transcended our neighborhoods. Our culture has transcended into corporations and things of that nature. But how do you keep the purity of it? You have to stay true to the culture. And that's what goes back to keeping these young people, holding them accountable. Because when you hold them accountable, you hold the line for hip hop.
All right, let me ask you a couple of quick little things here. Favorite all-time hip hop album, other than yours?
I got a couple at different times, man, but I'm gonna say Eric B for president. Rakim and Eric B for president, man.
Paid in Full.
Paid in Full album, man. Paid in Full, man.
Okay.
And but see, Run DMC, man, the king of rock, man. Oh my God. They were just masters, man. I don't think Run gets enough credit of being an MC, not a lyricist, because we got to give that to DMC. But but MC, we got it. But Paid in Full, man. I will go with Paid in Full, man.
One more, studio or stage.
Ooh. You a trip for that one. You a trip. That's a great question. If this was Drink Champs, I would have to take a shot. Shout out to Nori, man.
Shout out to Nori, man. Well, yo, man, once again, we appreciate you, man, for everything you're doing, man, just for the hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Salute on what you're doing in Newark, you know what I'm saying? Holding it down for your city, man. And, once again, man, we, just taking the time to talk to us, you know what I'm saying? Give your perspective, man. It was very knowledgeable. And we salute you so much, brother. And thank you for hanging out with us. Let everybody know how you can be reached, social media, you know what I'm saying? Just
Before that, I got a question for the legend. Right. I told him like he was the subject of conversation on tour one time, man. So X, man, Terminator X, the legend. We were talking about what growing up hip hop looks like. And things, what do you do, right? We talked about being in the politics and all of that. And Funk says, yo, I heard that Terminator X owns ostriches or something in North Carolina. And he sells them for everything, from their fur to the meat to everything, and their claws and everything. I was like, yeah. And they said that you had, I don't know if that was true or if it was some other type of animal, but I just wanted to ask you that. And what is that like, man, going from being on legendary stages with your group, Public Enemy, and being, I always look at this DJ as the core of any group when there's a DJ, and being the core of a legendary, iconic group like Public Enemy. How does that look, going from that to becoming a businessman on a whole other
different
path, because that's what people look at me like, word, you did that. And first of all, I guess it's a two-part question. Is that true that you had a business selling some type of animals or whatever? And how is that experience going from that to that?
So that's a great question. So that was at one time, that's all anybody ever asked me. You got an ostrich farm? You got an ostrich? So so I guess it was such a wild notion, idea, that it got so much attention. I mean, they gave me I think a 2-page spread in Vibe magazine at the time. It took a picture of me with, yes, it was ostriches.
Okay. All right,
so my brother, Joe Rogers Jr., it was his idea to buy some ostriches and start, working on an ostrich farm. So it was myself, my brother, and my father.
Dope.
And so man, like I tell you, yes, that is a true story.
Wow. Wait till I tell.
And it was like,
hey, have you ever had any ostrich meat at all? Have you ever ate? Okay.
I would have loved to come to Terminator X Farm. No, I would have ate it.
There was even a TV series. I don't, for the life of me, I don't remember the name of it. I need to research. There was a TV series that in the what's that first episode we call it?
The pilot.
The pilot
episode.
He moved to it was the white couple that moved to the country, and the wife didn't want to go, but he was like, "Man, Terminator X did it. We could do it too. We could move to the country." Whatever the name of that show was.
I did see that.
So it got a lot of attention.
Yeah.
And it was weird, but yeah, it's a true story. It's a true story.
True story. Give it up for Terminator.
Definitely.
Hey, man, we appreciate you, brother, man. Once again, thank you for hanging out with us. Terminator Xperience.
Yes,
give it up for DoItAll. Lois and Underground. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you so much.
Salute to you.
Salute, brother.
Thank you for your continuing contributions.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you,
to
bro.
society.
I appreciate y'all, man.
That's going to do it for this episode of the Terminator Xperience podcast, hosted by DJ DVS, Minor, and the legendary Terminator X. Make sure you subscribe, rate, and leave a review, and tap in with us on social media for clips, updates, and behind the scenes. Until next time, keep the culture first, keep the sound heavy, and keep it locked right here.